Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Today's random is Lilith, which is always a neat time. Lilith is pretty cool. Let's get to it. So, here's the seed. Lilith starts with an incubus that doesn't count on the item tracker, which has your character's tiers, tier effects, etc. But she can't shoot her own tiers, so incubus is her full damage output. Turns out pretty cool. Box of friends, which makes it so that you can create a duplicate of every unique familiar you have once every 4 rooms, which is also pretty cool. And then she has Cambion Conception as well, which is, in my opinion, kind of bad, because it means that you're likely to get familiars that are taking up the slots of your duplicate incubus, especially because you can get multiple of them if you get one of a few or more than one of that few items, making it just not worth having other familiars unless they're really good. But the moral of the story is duplicate your incubus a lot and you will do a lot of damage. And it's cool. And since the incubus isn't on your item tracker, because you need to always be able to keep it, you can get another one in a devil room. That was close. So Pupilla Duplex gives you wide tiers, but it also gives you spectral tiers. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's shot height or if it's just spectral for no apparent reason. Either way, it's cool because spectral is pretty useful. Okay, just don't shoot me. Especially in the really early game. The really early game has annoying rooms with pooters. Not this room inclusive, but this room was a good example of it, where they just kind of hide out and don't want to show up for a while, and it sucks to be you, because you can't really attack them until they want you to. But Spectral just negates that. But there are also just a number of rooms where it's convenient to be able to shoot through rocks to just stay a little safer. So we're going to get a cube of meat or a ball of bandages here, which will block enemy tiers and do contact damage of 7. Super good. Okay, I actually don't need to go anywhere else on this floor. I'm done. Okay. And that 7 contact damage is really darn useful. And I will overuse it a lot. Alright. I just scared that dude into killing himself. All good. It's the life right there. Almost thought I wouldn't get that and would have to deal with it again. All good though. Can't get to any of those fires, so I don't need to shoot them. I'm definitely going to take my time, at least at first in this run, because so far it looks like I'll need to. I'm looking for some tiers up, I'm looking for some damage up, I'm looking for a second incubus. Again, even though technically the 2 incubus I would have in that situation are unique, they're not unique because they're the same familiar, even if they are not. Like, one and its dupe from the item. So even if you use the box of friends, there's nothing you can do about that, by the way. That's just that guy decided he was a jerk and I was getting hit. Like, he didn't have to go there to run away from me, so it was just that dude being a jerk. Anyway, even if I have 2 incubus from that type of picking up, it's still the same as only having 1 unique familiar. Even if I use the Diplopia on any other familiar, that's still only having 1. I don't have any keys. Alright, well, I can get both of these with one and have that health back. Unfortunate red heart damage, but, you know. I planned on my orbital handling it and it didn't quite have that positioning. So it didn't quite work out for me. It was very close. But that's okay, I can still get the Devil Room if I'm lucky. Or I could not get it and have things work out differently and better anyway. Better is unlikely, but differently, well, you know, there's always that. Alright. There's my key. Now we can get our item room. Hopefully very good. Or not. The virus is interesting. If I come into contact with an enemy, they get poisoned. If they die, they have a pretty good chance of dropping a black heart. So I just need to make sure to run into enemies intentionally if they don't do contact damage to me, because it's a good source of black hearts if you can take advantage of it. As long as I still hit it. And I'll just take this for survivability. And then we'll find our way to the boss, hopefully. As long as Curse the Maze doesn't teleport me too far away, because it wants me to suffer walking through the floor numerous times. Okay. I don't want to use my orbital on the flies, unfortunately, until they split, because the split is rather explosive and can just cause you to get hit. So Monstro should be no problem. Duplicating the Ball of Bandages does get me a level 2 Ball of Bandages, which shoots Charmed Tears. Kind of nice. Alright, so I didn't get a Devil Room, but I got full health and 4 Soul Hearts, which is pretty good. I will check here for my top secret room and I will leave. Of course it's here. Play it twice. Alright, that's all you get. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Unfortunate, but also not a big deal. Alright, so this could have everything I ever dreamed of. That's pretty much what it had, actually. Credit card buys everything from the shop or Devil Room at no cost to me. But that does count as skipping a Devil Room, since you didn't pay health. If you haven't already paid health for one, then that does let you get Angel Rooms. Something to keep in mind. Leech. Honestly, right now, I think I'll take any damage I can get. Generally, the Leech is something that I would like to avoid, because if I have red hearts, and it heals my red hearts when I don't want it to, I'm out of Polaroid invincibility. That costs me the run sometimes, depending on my build. Oh, you were lower down than I had planned on you being. Anyway, I don't think it's a worthwhile item. Most of the time, it's way too big a risk for the late game, where the late game has an obvious best strategy. But maybe I'll just take this to the dark room, and then it won't matter. You know what? I need all the familiars I can get in here. But Leech does really minor damage. Still, if it kills something, you get a half red heart of recovery. Leech, thank you for not attacking anything ever. I was planning on... Oh, those are my friends. I was planning on the Ball Bandages handling that. Okay, this is just Caves 1. Why is this floor so big, then? That's strange. Alright, there we go. Dealt with all the annoying stuff. Now just the other annoying stuff. I really hate these enemies. But we've got our boss. Another reason that I'd take the leech here is because it's not a familiar that follows me in the same way, so it doesn't take up one of those valuable slots. I don't want to use that battery for this when I have all of these extra rooms that I can do. I'm obviously not making boss rush, which sucks because Lilith really shines in boss rush since you get a half a charge for your use item every wave. So you can activate your use item 7 times by the end. And it gets super silly super quickly, and it's great. Car battery. No, not quite. I didn't mean to buy that anyway, but I was going to say I'm not willing to use the sharp plug with this kind of health setup unless I get the wafer. So I don't feel that bad about that accidental bomb pickup. I didn't have any bombs anyway, and I needed them. So it's an alright life. I will go back and clear the floor most likely. I have spectral tears, so I have no reason to stay over here besides get those dudes in there. Unfortunately get hit. You could go back if you wanted, you know. This is what I hate about Dead Bird and the leech dudes. Oops. You can shoot the eyes away from you. It's another thing. It's quite helpful. It's okay, Peep is like my second weakest boss after the red champion Mega Maw. I'm just... Thank goodness. So of course, like I said, I'll only get a third incubus out of using my item, but I have 2 all the time. So how bad can it really be? Then I take the health up and it's like nothing ever happened. Except I always have 2 incubus. It's a good life. And yes, I have the credit card. Nothing's been worth it so far. I will check this. Could have really used a cricket's head, and that would have been great. Just 1 though. Make sure my article usage is correct. Means 1. The couple means 2. A few means 3 or more, in my opinion. That one's a little more ambiguous. Dang. But we're clearing out. Make sure things get good and done. I'll probably also do the challenge room. Wasn't much to do about that one, unfortunately. It's a dumb room. Small rooms with fast enemies, or just enemies that spawn in such a way that they're going to chase you and take up an entire, like, every spot on the room. You're kind of screwed, right? Like, what do you do about that? So that's, I don't feel bad about that. It just sucks that it has to be a full heart. Okay, so let's get out of here now. Not feeling great, but could be much worse. Not gonna look for the secret room because there are like 5 places it could be. Top secret room has the best location, but it can't be there, so I don't really want to check anywhere because it could kind of be anywhere in that situation. So, too bad. Secret room would have been too hard to find, and top secret room with just 5 bombs on that particular layout. Alright, so I got hit for enough times that the... Wow. Cambion Conception activated, and it gave me a succubus. Succubus is a moving aura, basically. Inside that aura, enemies take damage. Normally you gain a 1.5 damage multiplier, but since it was spawned from Cambion Conception, I don't get that multiplier, and it's thus not that useful. But I can still buy another one from the Devil Room if it shows up, and that one will have the multiplier. And in this case, because I duped one that doesn't have the multiplier, the duped one also won't have the multiplier. So, oh well. Could be worse, could be better. At least it damages the enemies in the aura. And if you get enough damage for your character, that damage can be quite a lot. So it gets pretty valuable. But the 1.5 multiplier for your damage is also pretty huge. So I'm all about not getting shafted on the damage. Especially since my damage still isn't good. I haven't gotten any damage or tears up. So what do you want me to do, video game? Oh, that was unpleasant for a little while. That leech wants blood. Able, no thanks. Gets too confusing. I always think enemies are shooting tears at me. Dodge them and get into sucky situations just overall. By the way, I would totally take a child's leash on this run. Man, I want all the things in here, but I don't want to use the credit card yet. I'll come back and use the credit card after seeing the Devil Room if I want to use Child's Leash. Now it's just on my mind. If I want to use the credit card in there. Since I should get the Devil Room this floor. But we'll see if the credit card finds itself a better use. Gonna check this chest. Good call. Thank you. Also, thank you. Or not, never mind. I lied. Spectral Tears, man, they're really useful. Everything's working out. Except my damage. But I'm working on it. As much as I can actually influence that, trying to do so. So this is why this room sucks. These guys make it really hard to hit them by always spawning enemies. Alright. Almost there. Boss is probably definitely on this path. And it's gotta be close by. It's all good. I was feeling it, you know? Huh, so they take random angles because they split up. I don't know where he is. So people say that you stand still in that situation, and then you won't get hit, but you get hit. I always get hit when I try that. Alright, so since the Devil Room didn't show its face, I will go use this credit card on the shop. I will take everything. So I'm gonna get Spider Mod, which, oh, this wasn't the right spot. Spider Mod gives me damage numbers and health bars. The damage numbers will be multiplied by 10, so they don't have a decimal point. And if the spider itself, which will be crawling around, comes into contact with an enemy, it gives it a random status effect. And I'll be getting the purse, which allows me to hold 2 trinkets.
Credit card.
An Emperor is pretty good too. Boss room teleport. I'm into that. As you might guess by the fact that I'm at 18.5 minutes in Caves 2. Definitely no boss rush. So, here we go. Boss rush ahoy? No, definitely not. So, we can not see our health, but that's okay. I have a ton of soul hearts. Man, that field one's still 3.5 damage. That's base damage. Alright. At least I have 2 things doing it. Regular chests aren't really worth it. Okay, this is fine. Just stay out of all these dudes' ways. Please. Plural agreement, man. It's important. Maybe not as important as commas, but it's pretty important. So 11 damage, or 1.1. Thank you. 1.1 damage. I know I've had it doing 2.2 and 2.3. So I just don't know what it is relative to my damage that it does. Okay, cool. Everyone go away. Don't look at me. Alright, I haven't found the item room, I haven't found the shop, but this is Depths 1, so I can do that later. Mask of Infamy. Shouldn't be a problem. Unless I do that and get really stuck. And I can't escape him because he just is too fast for me right now. Luck up, a soul heart, 2 key drops. And still no devil room. This is ridiculous to me. Thought I was 1 room farther down than I was. There we go. Thank you, buddy, for your 1.5 damage. Do I have a quad room to use this in? I need to. I'll be able to shoot the poops really fast, too, so it won't even be a huge deal. But I also want to keep my Emperor card because I'm going to need that. This run is kind of doomed to failure at this point. Unless I actually get a good item in the near future. Really? So off on that I couldn't shoot them. I should still have like 5 soul hearts though. On the plus side. But I'm gonna need a good item right about now. I can't believe that. Alright, that's a good item. My use item, when activated, does twice as much as it normally would. So that means that I'll get 2 duplicates of my familiars. Evil Eye won't do anything for Lilith, so it's useless. Unfortunately, because it's pretty cool. I guess I'll use it in the L room, it being the card against humanity. Anyway, I'll get 40 or 40. I'll get 4 familiars, but the problem is, because of this, I'll also lose my ball of bandages every time I use the item. It's not the end of the world, but it does kind of suck. So the dream here is give me the trinket already so that I can get something out of this. But at least I have spectral tears, so this will go by a lot quicker than it normally would. So that makes my life nice. But without the trinket, I can't really gain much from this. It's rather unfortunate. Dang, man. At least I get enough for another shop, but that's not what I need at the moment. Gonna get it from like the last poop. Or not at all. I feel better not getting it at all than getting it from the last poop, though. So things worked out, sort of, in one way. Car battery, though. That's always something. Alright, what do you got? See, I still have plenty of soul hearts and things, like I thought, but how much does that matter? Not a ton. Alright, what do you got? A bad spawn for me to use the ball bandages, that's what you got. That one's a good spawn, though. This should be fine. Totally fine. It's nice that that dude didn't feel like dying on his own, but seems like Succubus had it handled. Alright. I'm looking for a swell item room. Like, we've got the use item shenanigans going on. We just don't have the actual items shenanigans going on. So I need some actual items shenanigans. Only you can make that happen. Cool it. That was close. Also close. But it all worked out for once. Now that's a good item. Good enough? Maybe. Ah, 2 soul hearts. Excellent. Not really, though, because my damage is still bad. This will be dependent on my damage. This item, every time I kill an enemy, spawns a spider for me, which does 2.5 times my damage. It's great. It's like super, super great. But it isn't enough to save me. Maybe the shop will kindly have... Wow, it didn't get shot in time. That's funny. I need BFFs. And that's what I need. But that's greed, in fact. Not BFFs. So this is what I'm worried about. I think that's a sticky nickel. I don't think that moved from its spawn. Yeah. So that's the only tell for a sticky nickel that I've found. As long as... If it doesn't move from where it spawns when it drops, then it's sticky because it's stuck. It can't move from there. So the only hope now is I finish this floor and I find the loveliness that is the Rib of Greed as my trinket. That would help. because that would mean the shop would turn into a regular shop, which would at least be something. So help me out. I really am getting the bang for my buck out of my use item, though. Okay, that was just a bomb drop. That's what I thought that sound was. I just didn't want to be wrong, you know? One more room, one more chance. Maybe more, but one more room is what my assumption is going to be. That's what I thought. Darn. You got me, video game. You got me. Alright. Can't be there. Could be here. One of each type of health up. Sure. I'm guaranteed this devil room, so it has to happen. Alright, first try. Good item here. Blocks enemy tears, does 15 damage on contact. It's totally absurd. And of course I'm duplicating it, so twice. So even though I lose a ball of bandages, I'll have 3 of this, and that'll be totally perfect. 15 damage is quite a lot. Okay, so this run's way too bad to go to the dark room. Alright. Gotta go with it. It's still not good enough, by the way. You'd be surprised, since I still have base damage. Brimstone's a lot less good than you think it might be. But it'll be good. Still 3.5 damage per hit. So it's a beam. I don't know if with Incubus it'll still hit 13 times, but it normally hits 13 times for your damage. And that's cool. And I can have 4 of them. It's of course a charge. It's fine. Unlimited keys for the floor. Obviously, it's going to make a big difference in my ability to hit things conveniently. So we've got progress. The build improved. But no damage ups, man. I will take the child leash. Make sure my familiars all stay tightly grouped. No matter how many there are. It's pretty nice. If you have a lot of familiars, which I kind of do sometimes. I have more keys than bombs. I'm good not getting that one. Never lucky. Nah, that's pretty often a lucky penny, I would say. Just didn't finish charging. Good. Wasn't sure I would win that. Probably. I mean, it's not a big deal if I lose the health, I guess, is what I should say, but worth it? Probably not. So I won't do it. This has to be the correct way, by the way. Use my invincibility to get some extra black hearts. It's a good life. Alright, quad brimstone up in here. Not afraid of you. Health up. Gotta take the 2 heart item. The Pact. 0.5 damage, 0.7 tears, and 2 soul hearts. Goat head. A little late, but you know, that's fine. Guarantees every devil or angel room will show up after the boss, if it's possible for that to happen. And that those rooms will stay open for me, even after I leave. Okay, we're getting there. I want to Emperor, but of course Emperor is for the Cathedral. So, it's not time yet. So now we're doing 4.5. It's better than nothing. And Succubus is doing 1.4. Oops. So it gains, I guess, a third of the damage up I gain. Maybe. Maybe not quite how it works. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure something out. Okay. No clue where the boss is gonna be. Floor hasn't told me much. Doesn't speak to me. But I'm hoping that it's trying to tell me it's this way. And I think it might be. Good stuff. Dang, the spiders had that handled, and that's for sure. Empress is Horde Babylon for a room. Which is 1.5 damage up and 0.3 speed up. You know what? I was gonna say I don't fear you, but I knew I should. Don't need that. Battery's far away, but I'm gonna grab it because then I can use the Emperor right away. So that's something. Alright, bro. Let's go. This is still not the run I had hoped it would be. But it is at least a run that is possible. So of course no more devil rooms are possible. So. Okay. Get me some nice, juicy extra familiars. Nice having 4 brimstones. It would be nice having 4 strong brimstones, but I'll take what I can get for now, with the way this run has been the whole time. So you can see how tight Child's Leash is keeping them together, and how they come much quicker back together, so that I can aim them better. It's great. Curse of the Blind, I don't even care. D6. Spiders don't damage me or attack me. And then a bunch of use items. The problem with this is I need to keep this. So the way we'll treat this is we'll get another use item real quick. And that's a lot less difficult than it seems, even if I don't get many item drops like chest drops. Certain enemies drop use items regularly enough. Like these guys. Except this time. At the same time, I could also just go for it. Fruitcake, bad. My Reflection, bad. Odd Mushroom, bad. Oh dear. Fruitcake is random tier effects every few seconds. My reflection makes it really hard to aim Brimstone because the beam will go the opposite direction of the direction you were just moving. And the Thin Odd Mushroom is fire rate up for a 0.9 damage multiplier and 0.4 damage down. So basically I just got a bunch of stuff that screws me over kind of badly. Fortunately, Fruitcake doesn't matter as much since I have Brimstone, because my tears can't explode and hit me. But it's still, like, hyper bad. So, you know, things are getting pretty serious, right? Man, curse the blind chests. It's also, I guess the Thin Odd Mushroom is a speed up as well, but that really doesn't have any impact on my life. So if I haven't been moving for a little bit, I can actually properly aim the Brimstone beam. But the problem is, I can't just not be moving regularly because enemies move most of the time. And even if they don't move, I have to dodge the things that they're shooting at me. So, you know. I think it's safe to say that this run is doomed in a half. Piercing tears, which I already have, of course, because Brimstone is always piercing. And a speed up. Not the best I could have done. But it could have been much worse. There's always that. Alright, help me out here. Oh my god. I already know that's a use item though, so I can reroll that. Get a health up. Oh boy. So number 2, if I hold shoot for 3 seconds or so, I spawn a bomb. A butt bomb. Which stuns enemies and does damage to all the enemies in the room and whatnot. But we finally got something good. I didn't realize it spawned there. In Polyphemus, which is damage +4 and then ×2. So we have a slight chance of being able to do this now. But at the same time, my health is running out and I have butt bombs that I'm not prepared for. So that's always good. Peeper pops an eye out, bounces around, does 8 damage. No items. So, you know, it's not the best, not the worst. It also blocks tears, which is nice of it. The Emperor. Honestly, I don't really care. Problem is, of course. Alright, there we go. Didn't give me an item, so I'm probably dead, but hey. One can try. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I mean, really? That was much better than I expected to do once I got those chest items. That was pretty silly. So that was that run. Could have been much more, but I didn't really have the time to wait, probably, on those rerolls. I didn't expect to do that badly, is a better way of putting it. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.